Hi there, and welcome to the Cotswold Explorer. I'm Robin Shuckburgh, and we're exploring the wonderful region of the Cotswolds in southwest England. We've decided to revisit the centre of the region and find some hidden gems, places that are not quite so famous, but still just as beautiful. Today you find Ross, Widget, Gizmo and me in a minute little village called Syde. Over the last few weeks we've seen several serious contenders for the most remote village in the Cotswolds. I think this one is another one. Come with us, we're going to show you around. We're in the darkest, most remote country of the Cotswold Hills today, as we seem to have been over the last few weeks. The minute settlement of Syde takes a fair bit of finding, and if we're honest, the residents are pretty glad of their isolation. It consists of a great manor house, built of what they call rubble stone, which simply means stones of an irregular shape, some spectacular barns and farm buildings, and a few cottages, several of which are in the process of being renovated. Of course, there is also a lovely and remarkably unaltered church, with signs of having been here since before the Norman conquest of 1066. Syde, spelt sometimes with an I but usually these days with a Y, is thankfully mentioned in the Great Pevsner Guide, but not at all in the great histories of the county by Atkins and Rudder. So small is it that it must have escaped their attention. This gives us a little frisson of satisfaction as we continue with our big project of recording a video record of the Cotswolds in the 21st century. A project that is going very well, incidentally, as the announcement at the end of this video will demonstrate. It feels good to us to know we're missing as little as possible. Syde is probably the smallest parish in the whole region. It lies above the River Frome, just 9 miles from Stroud and Cheltenham, but it could be on the moon for all intents, as it feels as though no one has passed through here for 100 years. Apart, that is, for the signs of builders repairing the collection of cottages, and the unmistakable sound of a practising music ensemble coming from the tithe barn that bounds the whole southern edge of the churchyard. Concerts are a regular occurrence at Syde Manor, and of course the internet will provide you with upcoming events. I've been to musical events at many famous venues like Aldborough and Glyndebourne and Garsington, and this place competes with them all, particularly with regards to the beauty of its surroundings. Of course, the manor is a private house and we won't intrude. It's probably medieval in origin, with additions and improvements over the centuries. It seems likely, although I hastily add I am merely speculating, that the cottages and farms surrounding it are part of the estate, and that the renovations going on in all the cottages are the actions of a conscientious landowner. We bumped into a couple of residents who were extremely friendly and told us of the quiet life they'd led there for several decades. Non-musical visitors are rare, which could perhaps explain their relaxed attitude to Ross and me wandering around with cameras and microphones. A small plaque on the back of the bench, under the tree at the small crossroads above the houses, commemorates the illustrious alumnus of Syde, Frederick Sanger, who died in 2013, having twice won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. The little church of St Mary has an 11th century nave, and it's the lintel over the blocked south door that suggests it might be pre-Norman. The 19th century saw the rebuilding of the chancel and the addition of the north porch. The small 14th century west tower has a delightful saddleback roof, which isn't uncommon in this area. The wonderful box pews are probably 18th century, and the royal arms, painted on the wall above the chancel arch, is pretty indecipherable, but is probably Charles II. There's a good octagonal font, late English Gothic, somewhere around 1500, and in the nave southeast window a small roundel of stained glass from the 15th century of St. James of Compostela, a sneaky reminder of the long walk we will be undertaking down the Cotswold Way in July. If you're going to come here, I suggest you look to book a ticket to a concert. I hope you've enjoyed our little spin around Syde. It's an extraordinary place because it's tiny, full of activity, lots of rebuilding going on and maintenance of various kinds. A lovely little church with its saddleback roof. We've really enjoyed ourselves. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel if you would. Press the notification bell so that we can let you know every time we put something up. And we will see you again very soon, somewhere else in the Cotswolds. And today, we have a bit of an announcement to make. For the last 9 years or so, we've been making films about the towns and villages of the Cotswolds, describing their history and architecture. And we've also introduced all kinds of other features. Films about the great stately homes, countryside walks, as well as some chilling ghost stories from the region. We have been touched by the generosity of all of you who watch our stuff and leave such lovely, kind messages. It's been a remarkable experience and extremely rewarding for both Ross and me. I used to be pessimistic that we would manage in my lifetime to film all those villages mentioned in the ancient histories of the Cotswolds. But now I am entirely confident that within the next couple of years we will have achieved that great aim. And I'm proud of my young colleague for sticking it out with me and of the work that we've done together. We have, of course, noticed that along with our journey around the Cotswolds, our Halloween films are particularly enjoyed by a large number of you. So much so that Ross has even created a spin-off channel called Ghostly Trails to provide some extra ghost stories every Halloween from elsewhere in the country. Recently, it was suggested to us by one of you kind people that we set up a Patreon channel. Now, needless to say, I live up to my reputation as a Luddite by having no idea what that is. But Ross has done the research, and it seems it's a way in which we can increase our output on the Cotswold Explorer, as well as improving communications with all you wonderful watchers, whilst asking for a small financial contribution from any of you who might be interested. We've decided to record regularly some brilliant Victorian ghost stories, as well as 1 or 2 great Gothic novels, such as Bram Stoker's Dracula, read chapter by chapter, week by week. For a small fee, we will make these available to you spook lovers all through the year, as well as other snippets of behind-the-scenes footage, bloopers, and sometimes advanced viewings of some of our bigger projects. There will be a couple of price options for this new scheme, hopefully to fit any pocket, and the details are available now by clicking on the link in the description below. By joining us in this particular venture, you will be making a huge difference to our stability and help to guarantee, subject to absolute disaster, that we will complete our original mission to create a 21st century video record of the whole Cotswold region. Hopefully for the benefit of future historians as well as you all, either as a guide or, if sadly you're unlikely or unable to visit, an enjoyable distant experience of one of the most beautiful places in the world. Ross and I thank you in advance, and I look forward to reading some great classic spooky tales for your pleasure.